Andrews starred on Broadway in My Fair Lady, which brings back so many memories for me, but anyway. Also Camelot. Her television series won 8 Emmys. But it really is as a movie star that most of us have gotten to know her best, from Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, other movies. This spring, we're going to see her in a new movie called Victor Victoria, which is somewhat of a departure again. Julie, it is a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, David.
First time. It seems like ages when we might have run across each other.
Well, we have so much in common anyway with Fair Lady.
That's right,
yeah.
Exactly. Julie, going back to that time, from doing My Fair Lady on Broadway and creating that role and what the role implied, and then Mary Poppins, and then Sound of Music, describe your image, describe how we saw you then as a result of that early work of yours that became so popular. What was your image?
Well, in terms of My Fair Lady, I guess nationally or internationally, I didn't really have that much image, strangely enough. Although, you know, one might have been a star on Broadway, one certainly wasn't known across the country, other than people who came to see the show.
Right.
So I don't think you could really count My Fair Lady in there.
Poppins and Sound of Music.
Poppins and Sound of Music did do something, I guess, for an image, yes.
What? What was it?
I think anytime you have a really huge success, people remember you best for the things that are the most successful.
Right.
And I think that because those two shows were so successful, then I guess I was inclined to be a little bracketed in terms of the Mary Poppins image, as everybody
sweet and nice and lovely and
yes.
Perfect, right?
Well, of course.
Now, did you set about to change that?
Excuse
me. Did you think people thought you were like that, period? Did that worry you?
Well, no, I hoped it wasn't quite as saccharine as all that. I mean, you know, but I actually didn't set about to change it. I just thought I was not being bracketed. It was only kind of in retrospect that one realized one was. Because I did other films that were very different from Poppins, like the Americanization of Emily and Hawaii, and they're really not your average sweet and light films.
No.
But
so what have you done? Have you consciously set out to do kinds of roles that will shove that image in the background
not really.
for people?
I'm just very fortunate that I've had a couple of superb roles that were really, you know, really nice. I could get my teeth into them, and any actress asks for that. So.
What do you want to do? What do you want your career to be, or what do you want to?
I'm not sure that I've absolutely settled on it, but I'd like to do as much that is as diverse as possible. I'd love to go on making musicals because they're such a joy to do, and they give so much pleasure, and there's a kind of atmosphere about the set. But I would love to do other things too, not really be typed too much, I guess.
Is anybody doing musicals?
Well, not many, no, and I think that musicals, the way we used to know them, have changed. I mean, you don't have songs just coming from the book anymore. They have to mostly come from some kind of source. Cabaret is a good example. Victor Victoria is a good example. I do play a performer who does sing, so that it comes more naturally. I don't just burst into song for no reason.
All of a sudden, bell note.
Yeah, that's right.
About your family, you moved to Switzerland?
Yes, yes.
And you spend most of your time there?
Yeah, that's our kind of home base.
Why? Because you used to live in California.
Yes, we did. It was a kind of part career decision, part personal decision. I had to do a whole mass of work in London, and with that also some films, and Blake and I were married, and it included all of that, included both of us in all of that. And we already had a house in Switzerland, and when we moved to London, it seemed to make sense to kind of make Switzerland our base.
Awfully nice over there.
Oh, it is wonderful.
What about your children? How are they? And how are they getting along in show business? One, Emma? One of your
Well, between us, we have 5 children. We have Jenny, who's now 24 and has made me a step-grandmother. And then Jeffrey, Blake's son, is 22. My own daughter is 19. And we have 2 little babies, 7 and 8. Well, they're not babies anymore.
How much time do you spend with them? How big a priority?
Well, it depends what I'm doing. When I'm not working, I spend a great deal of time with them, and I'm just an ordinary, as close to an ordinary mum as I could be. And when I'm working, they sort of know that when I'm available, I'm really available. And when I'm working, I'm working.
What advice do you give your daughter Emma, who's studying acting? Right?
Yes.
She's studying? What advice have you given to her?
Not that much, mostly just to try everything, do everything. She doesn't need much advice. She's just doing fine.
You're not against her going into the business?
Oh, I don't think I could stop her if I tried.
Julie, it's nice to see you.
Thanks, David.
Pleasure. And she'll be back, by the way, Julie will be back with us sometime next month talking about her new movie, which is Victor Victoria. It's 5 minutes before 9. We'll be back after these words from Lipton.